Today we're going to finish Sue Has No Clue by Dan Gutman, starting with Chapter 9, A Surprise Visitor. At that moment, a long black limousine pulled up to the playground. Everybody stopped to look at it. The door opened. A guy got out. "Mayor Hubble!" everybody shouted. Yes, it was Mayor Hubble. He used to be the mayor of our town, but then he got caught stealing money from people and had to go to jail. "To what do we owe the pleasure of your company?" asked Mr. Klutz, who was still duct taped to the wall. "I thought you were in jail." "I got time off for good behavior," said Mayor Hubble. Then he reached into his limo and brought out a giant piece of cardboard. It must have been the size of a surfboard. "Wow," everybody said, which is Mom upside down. "I'd like to make a small donation to the carnival," Mayor Hubble announced. He handed the giant check to Miss Sue. She looked like she was going to faint. "You're giving us $1,000, Miss Sue said. "I don't know how to thank you, Mayor." "No need to thank me," said Mayor Hubble. "I feel it is very important to support our schools and blah, blah, blah community, blah, blah, blah children, blah, 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 blah America, blah, blah, blah." He went on like that for a while. Everyone was trying with joy and trying to take pictures of Miss Sue holding the big check. Mayor Hubble went through the crowd, passing out buttons and bumper stickers, shaking hands, making peace signs, and kissing babies. "Hooray for Mayor Hubble!" everybody started shouting. "Mayor Hubble saved the carnival." "How do you think he will fit that check in his wallet?" I whispered to Ryan. "He must have a really big wallet," Ryan whispered back. "One more chapter to go. Isn't it exciting?" Chapter 10, Say It Ain't So. Because of Miss Sue and Mr. Mayor Hubble, the elementary school carnival was a big success. Altogether, we raised $5,300. That would be more than enough to buy new playground equipment. The parent volunteers started cleaning up and taking down the booths. People started heading for their cars. That's when the most amazing thing in the history of the world happened. A police car pulled up. 2 policemen got out. They went over to Mr. Klutz, who was still duct taped to the wall. "Mr. Klutz," said one of the policemen, "you're under arrest. We're taking you to jail." The other policeman cut the duct tape with a knife so Mr. Klutz could get off the wall. "Oh, yes," Mr. Klutz said, laughing. "I almost forgot. I promised that I would spend a night in jail if we raised $5,000. Well, goodbye, everybody. See you bright and early on Monday." "Monday," said the first policeman as he slapped a pair of handcuffs on Mr. Klutz. "Don't count on it, Buster. You're going away for a long time. We got an anonymous tip that you stole money from the school carnival." Everyone gasped. "What are you talking about?" asked Mr. Klutz. "I didn't steal any money. It's all right there in the money box. Go ahead, open it." Miss Sue brought over the money box. "How much money is in that box, ma'am?" said the second policeman. "Count it to make sure." Miss Sue opened the money box. There's Mr. Klutz with the policeman. "It's empty," she shouted. "Empty, empty, empty." In case you're wondering, everybody said empty. "What happened to all the money?" somebody hollered. "I don't have a clue," shouted Miss Sue. "Okay, where's the money, Klutz?" asked the first policeman as he searched Mr. Klutz's pocket. "Where did you hide it?" But, stammered Mr. Klutz. Me and the gang started giggling because Mr. Klutz kept saying "but," which sounded a lot like "but," even though it only has one T. "You have the right to remain silent," said the second policeman. "Anything you say will be used against you and blah, 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 blah." "How could you do it, Mr. Klutz?" one of the parents shouted. "We trusted you." "Say it ain't so, Mr. Klutz," shouted one of the kids. "You should be ashamed of yourself," shouted Miss Sue. "Stealing money from children. Well, you're a disgrace." "But I didn't do it," Mr. Klutz protested as the cops pushed him into the back seat of the police car. "How could I have stolen the money? I was duct taped to the wall. The kids were throwing Nerf balls at me." "Tell it to the judge, Klutz," the first policeman said as he slammed the door shut. "We're sending him away to the big house for a long time," said the second policeman as he got into the front seat. The police car drove away. "It must be nice to live in a big house," I said after they left. "Big house means jail, dumbhead," said Andrea, rolling her eyes. I was going to tell Andrea that her face should be put in jail, but I didn't get the chance because that's when the most amazing thing in the history of the world happened. Somebody bumped into me. It was Mr. Mayor Hubble. He was walking really fast toward his limousine, and he bumped me. I turned around and looked at him. There were dollar bills sticking out of his pockets. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to do. I had to think fast. It's Mayor Hubble, I shouted. He stole the money. Get him! Somebody yelled. Mayor Hubble started to run. He knocked over the giant thermometer. When it fell, it landed on the jar of gumballs and cracked it open. 1,100,000 gumballs went rolling all over. People tripping over the gumballs. Ms. Sue landed in a box full of goldfish. Something poked a hole in the moon bounce and it started to deflate. Dr. Moo got loose and rammed into the dunk tank. Water was pouring all over the place. Everybody was freaking out. Run for your lives, shouted Neil, the nude kid. The ponies have escaped, someone shouted. I stepped on a toad, shouted somebody else. Everybody remain calm, hollered Ms. Sue. While all this was happening, Mayor Hubble jumped into his limo. Floor it, he yelled to his driver as he slammed the door shut behind him. The limo tore out of there with the tires squealing. Stop him! So long, suckers, Mayor Hubble shouted out the window. Well, that's pretty much what happened at the school carnival. I might have added a few things just so you wouldn't get bored. It looks like we're not going to get new playground equipment after all. There's Mayor Hubble driving away. Maybe next year one of the other parents will be in charge of fundraising. Maybe the police will let Mr. Klutz go and catch Mayor Hubble before he escapes with all the money. Maybe I'll sell my sister's American Girl doll collection. Maybe people will stop talking about boats all the time. Maybe the next book will be Miss Mitzi is Ditzy. Maybe my dad will stop trimming his ear hair and kissing toads. Maybe we'll get personal robots to carry our backpacks. Maybe we'll get a zip line for the playground. Maybe Mr. Tony will get some goats to put on people's lawns. Maybe I'll win another goldfish. Maybe Dr. Moo will drop another cow pie on the playground. Maybe Miss Sue will find someone to take Alexia's college fund. But it won't be easy. I hope you enjoyed Miss Sue Has No Clue by Dan Gutman.